friends, I'm Andrea and I'm celebrating International Scrapbook Day today with the Simple Stories design team. We're also on Instagram with an Instahop. Make sure to check all of the details over there. So I know I promised some of you that I would have a special process video prepared for you that is ready to go whenever I am actually allowed to do so. I used a collection that is not yet out, so that will have to wait a little bit. So for now, what I'm going to do is, if you guys remember that tote bag that I posted a few weeks ago with using the Let's Get Crafty collection, I hope you remember there was a mini album in there. So we are also recreating that project. Some of you also asked for a process video on how the binding for that mini album came together. So that's what we're doing. It's a completely different size. That mini album was really tiny compared to this. This one is, the chipboard pieces are 8 by 5, so you need 2 of those to start with. And then I'm doing, the spine is 1.5 inches wide. So right now we're just gonna cover those 3 pieces as we would regularly do with a chipboard cover mini album. I'm using these amazing tools just to make the process easier and faster. And I'm gonna use 2 different pieces of pattern paper. Again, this is the exact same process that I followed to create the other one. The only difference is the pieces were way smaller just to fit in the tote bag. Have those 2 colors. And I think I have not mentioned it, but this is the Simple Vintage Lemon Twist collection. They re-released this collection this year since it sold out so quickly last year. So I also have a few projects made with this collection from last year, so I'm gonna also go ahead. You will find the links to those projects below. I don't think I have process videos for them, but I'll have the links to the Instagram posts so you can at least get more inspiration if you get your hands on this collection this year. Just make sure you check those posts. Before I covered the inside of the chipboard, and even before I folded those pieces from the cover, I added some machine stitching details. Now I'm cutting this is the piece. I only need 1 piece of pattern paper from this for the inside cover of this mini album. I do like to add as much double-sided tape as possible. And when I'm working with the edges of the chipboard, I do like to use super sticky double-sided tape just to make sure that things stay in place. I start with the longest edges first, folding those creases. And then we go with the shorter sides, with the shorter edges. Now I was ready to go with to stick that piece, and then I remember. So I am gonna use ribbon to keep this album close. I found this yellow ribbon on Amazon and I think it works perfectly with the collection. So you see me adding that in between these 2 layers with the chipboard and the pattern paper on one side. That's on the right side, the back cover. Then for the front cover, I'm just gonna do it on top of the actual pattern paper on top of the front cover, and then that's gonna be covered with the decorations that we add. We're gonna be able to just see, I believe, around 3/4 of an inch, but that way I make sure that you don't get any pressure from the ribbon pulling to try to keep everything close between those two layers. So that way it's only pulling on one side and we're safe. So now I am measuring where I want my holes to be. So this mini album, if you remember the other one, we are using elastic bands or elastic cord we're gonna create some signatures or some mini books inside this. So this is just like a folder that's gonna be holding 4 different again, signatures or mini books. Now I'm gonna open 4 holes on one side, 4 holes on the top of the spine, 4 holes at the bottom, and I'm using these mini eyelets just to give it a more finished look to those holes. If you do not have the mini eyelets, but you, for example, have the new crocodile that has a different width holes, just try to use the smallest one if you find a super thin elastic cord. That would be my only advice. Otherwise, the regular crocodile with the mini eyelets work really, really good. Okay, we are all set, and now it's time to find some of the elastic cord. I was so glad I had the yellow one because it just worked perfectly. Just the yellow ribbon to keep the album closed and the yellow elastic cords to get my binding. I think it looks perfect, and you get that beautiful contrast between the yellow and the black that you already get from the actual collection, but you're just keeping the look, making sure that there is consistency all over your project. Okay, so now I'm just tying a knot in the middle. We're gonna cover that. We'll get there. We'll get to embellish that. Now the next step, I'm not sure if we're going with the cover. No, I think I'm going to show you how I made the signatures or mini books. These ones are very, very simple. I'm still not sure what photos I'm going to include on this mini album, so I wanted to keep it simple, but at the same time I also wanted to show you how everything came together. So you just measure how tall the space that you have between the top hole and the bottom hole is, and then you just cut your paper a tiny bit smaller than that. This is the width of the paper. Once you fold it, should be about 1/4 inch. You just need to make sure that it's at least 1/4 inch shorter than the actual width of your cover. That way, when you close it, your signatures or your mini books are not going to go over the right edge of your mini album. So as of now, I'm just going over the papers that I have. I'm mixing some white cardstock and missing some of the 4x4 cards from the pattern papers and the 3x4 cards. And now it's time to decorate the cover. By the time I realized I was not recording, I had a few steps already done. So some pattern paper to cover the frame. That's a chipboard frame that has 3 square holes. So I just use pattern paper, 2 different pieces of pattern paper to cover those with some foam strips, just to make sure that there is some depth and some dimension and more layers in between the pattern paper and the chipboard pieces. And then after that is just some foam stickers, some layered stickers, die cuts on the left side of the page, and layering those butterflies. And you can see that I used a foam sticker, a circular foam sticker, and then a layered sticker that was the exact same design but just a little bit smaller. And you can see that the inside is still not fully decorated, but the main idea is there. Just 4 signatures. There are 2 that were mainly made with the 6x8 pattern paper, so I just cut a little bit from the top and folded in half and got a mini book from there. And then the other ones were made with the 12x12 pieces of pattern paper. So this is it for the other one with the Let's Get Crafty collection. It was just a smaller mini album, but the basics and the idea was the same. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm more than happy to get back to you as soon as I can. And please keep enjoying the Instahop. Go back to Instagram. Becky Adams is the next person to check on Instagram after my project. Make sure you follow the entire design team and you leave a comment just letting us know that you stopped there. There are fantastic prices, all of the information on the Instahop and all of the giveaways, amazing giveaways from Simple Stories. All the information is in the description box below for you to check it out. And again, just let me know if you have any questions. This was Andrea Lake for Simple Stories, celebrating International Scrapbooking Day. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.